morning, everybody. How's things? Here we are again, Tuesday, and it's tile number 589. So what have I got today? I've white tile, or one of the whites. I've inked it with a bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, a little bit of burgundy on the edge. And then I spritzed it with some of my pink stuff, which is like a household cleaning product. You see, it's got those little dimples in it. And then when it was dry, I came back in with that burgundy and just gave myself a slightly deeper edge to go with. So hopefully, you know, you've got some pre-inked, or you're going to get that done later. Doesn't matter whether you do inking before or after. What I would do though, if you're going to ink after you've drawn it, I'd ink before you shaded, because sometimes if you're shading, you might find that the inking, it will move the pencil a little bit, but we know that. So shall we make a start? Okay, let's have a look at this then. I'm going to come in with pencil first, and you can, if you want, use one of your basic shape stencils to give yourself a round shape, but I'm going to go with it. And of course, if you want to, I'm going to go this way. You could go this way, because we're going to put a bubble in, but we're going to put a part bubble. Oh, it's typical, isn't it? When you want to, you find that your lead's got to the end. We say lead, it's not really lead, is it? So let's just give that a bit of a change first. Okay, so there's one. So you see, when it gets to like the bottom, it just starts, getting a bit of pain. So what I tend to do, let's just give that a bit of a swap. Pop that down the end, put the rubber on, put the lid back on, and then click it. And there we go. Lead all sorted. So here we go. I'm going to put myself a bit of almost like a big letter C, but I do want some space around it. So see, I'm going to come in and then do that with it. Okay. All right. See, I can come in, I can sketch little bits so I can get the shape that I like. All right. See, I'm going to come out there a bit. Look. And yeah, happy with that. New rubber, look. This one is not going to go anywhere near little Finley. Oh, there's obsession with pencil rubbers. Okay, happy with that one. All right, so once you're happy with yours, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come round and put in another row. See, it's starting at the point there. I want to come round to about here, so I've got a nice space to work in there, so I can then work it round. So I've got something to work to. Oh, that's going to be a bit different there. Okay, so now we can have a look at it. It's always easier to look at what you've got on the page and then rub out the bits you don't think you need anymore, then try and get it perfect first time, because it's just not going to happen. So let's work around and get some pencil on and then make the changes. There you go. I've got something that's pretty round, oval-ish, but round enough. How's that sound? Okay. All right, just faffing now. Stop it, Sandra. Faffing. Okay, so let's have a look. Sort of about middle-ish area. I'm going to put myself a droplet in there. I'm going to make it quite big. Okay. See? A little bit of a curve on the top. Okay. And then I'm going to have like a little sort of hook there. Like so. And then let's take a bit of a line. It's going to go in there. It's going to sort of go round, so it's going under and through. Let's keep it simple. Okay, it looks like a light bulb, doesn't it? That's okay. Let's go in a bit bigger. Yeah, it's not a light bulb. It can be if you want it to be, but I'm not planning on it staying a light bulb. All right, so let's put in. Now I'm going from here, looking here. I'm going to put myself a bit of a loopy shape. Let's point it a little bit at the bottom. And then here, a little V shape. Then here, a little V shape. And here, a little V shape. So we've got a bit more of like a a gem kind of design, haven't we? Rather than anything else. Okay. So I like that. So let's then have a look at what we're going to do around this shape. I'm going to sort of start here and I'm going to do like a letter S like that. And then imagine it's going underneath and up here and then back round like that. See, let's just move that out just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. How's that look? Okay. So then let's go underneath and back round. And then underneath and back round. So it sort of comes off at the bottom there. Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? So I want to double these up. So I'm going to come across the back of this. And it's still going to sort of end up at the same point, see? Oh, it's lovely, isn't it, that? What colour's your necklace then, Wendy? What colour's that pendant? So let's go around the back. Like that. So I'm turning it as I go just to make life a bit easier. And I've not made it too narrow. Around as we go. Then this is the bit that you always think, oh, what am I going to do with this? Start it at that. Okay. Put a line. Okay. And then if I can get rid of those little lines there. You see, you've got kind of a little bit of a ribbon going off around the piece. So I'm going to come and put this ribbon and this in now with pen. So you can sort of see where it's going. Not the moon, just this ribbon bit and that pendant. All right. So yes, around we go. Again, I'm just moving it so it makes life a little bit easier for me to draw it. There. You see, if I'm not quite on, it doesn't matter. Remember, those pencil lines are there. They're a guide, they'll rub out, so if they're not exactly on, it doesn't matter. And let's put this bit in. Okay. And then here, so I'd got I'm going to put this bit in. This bit coming down like so. And then that little ring sits around it, like so. And then I'm going to put this shape in. I'm going to stop part way, sort of where it comes to a line. Oh, that'd be nice, Wendy. Perhaps you're going to colour yours in green. I haven't decided mine yet. Okay. And then into this bit. And then I'm going to put those bits in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to switch sort of to pencil and I'm going to put myself some bubble shapes in. Now I don't want these too small. We don't want to have tiny, tiny ones. We want some sort of design and shaping. Let's put one there, look. And then a smaller one above it. Now if it goes over the ribbon, look, doesn't matter. We can rub that bit out later. I just find it easier to draw a whole bubble than a part one. Let's put one in there, look. And just do one here. They're all going to be in slightly different places. So, you know, you have a look at yours, and if your ribbon is in a slightly different place to mine, it's fine. I just want a decent amount of in there. I'm going to put one here, but a little bit smaller. Look. So I've got something to work with to start me off. Okay. And you could do it a bit tigery, couldn't you? That'd be nice. Oh, Karen, you've got jelly bean. If you had a look on the Sanntangle page yesterday, but I've done a jelly bean quilt. And it's so easy because it's not really a quilt. It's just a piece of fabric that you can stitch over and it looks like a quilt. It's great. Anyway, here we go. So I'm going to put myself a little loop in like that. And then my next loop, and again, you can do this any way. You can go this way or this way. They're going to kind of overlap each other as you work your way around. So I'm not too worried about whether, I get the same amount in, but you've got that. So I'm going to turn it round. So the next one starts at a different angle, so they're not all the same. And then follow it round, look, so it looks like they're going underneath each other. Now again, if you would rather do this in pencil first, do it, that's fine. Again, turning it round, starting a loop so it's in a different place. And around we go. Right, see? Okay, like that. Oh, Wendy, I don't know why. Should all have them now. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go. I don't know if Sarah's probably not on. I'll go and check, see what's going on. I'm sure they've all gone. But sometimes I don't know if you know with Hobby Maker, if you've ordered something but you've ordered, so if you say you've ordered one of my products but then you order somebody else's, like something from the warehouse, it goes to them first. So we don't get it straight away. But we can look at when we did. But we'll have a look for you, Wendy, and make sure I can check what's going on there. Okay. So, following all these around. Let's put one there, look. So this time, if you're not sure, put it in pencil, look, so you can see where it's going. And then just draw in the bits in pen that you need. Like that. So all the way around, look. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, good starting point. I think I could probably get away with another one there. Hi, Rose. I know we've got Maureen in. Wendy and a few others. I think you should, Maureen, have a look at one. If you've got one actually to look at, I'd go in with the, start with like the clementine and bring in teak and that kind of colour. Maybe a bit of brown sugar would do the trick. And I think you're going to have to put a bit of black in. Okay, look at that. See, so we've got all these lovely little bits going on there. So I want to do something a little bit different. I say different. Let's just get rid of the bits. So we're just keeping it clean as we're going, you know, so it doesn't get too complicated. There you go. All right. Okay, so let's go from, I don't know, from here. Like I'm going to come up here with a line. And then I'm going to come back down and do part a curl. Okay, let's do another one of them. So I could do it the other way, look, like that. And then come down and part way do a curl. See? And then finish it off and draw another one. See, like a swirl, watch that again. Look. So I'm going to bring this down here. And then here, the edge of this curl, bring that down. Got a bit of a curl going on. Let's do another one, so let's go this way. So up there, look. And then let's go in a bit so you can see it. So from there, look, I'm going to come down and create a curl. Then back down there, back down there. See? So let's get a few more of those in. Let's come down here and see what we're going to... Let's put one in here, look, it sort of wants... Go that way. Up there, look. Round with a curl. And then that's going to sort of come underneath. And that one there. See? Let's do another one. So let's go up here. Down with a curl. You see, so then I'm going to come in here. So it's kind of putting a line in, a bit of a curve either side of that curl. Let's move out a bit. So it's going to sort of sit underneath, but you're still going to get the bottom edge of it. And then I'll put one in here, look. Curl a bit more there and there. Let's have one coming down here. See, when you're confident with it, you can sort of come in and do a few bits at a time, like that. Okay, so I haven't got much going on here. That's okay, because what I want to do is I'm going to do sort of little swirls like this. But see, keep it quite small. So it's a swirl, but it's a bit of a wobbly. And I'm not going sort of too big with them. Another one there, look. So I'm just going to fill a few little areas in with them. Not going too big with them, as I say. All right, let's put another one there. So we've just got a little one and a little one in there. So I don't mind if I've got a couple of gaps, it's fine. We're sort of filling, but we don't have to fill every single piece up. Okay. So just sort of add a few in. We still want to put a little bit of that moon shape in the background, so that's okay. That's we just want a few of these wandering round. See? Okay, I'm going to put the rest of the shape in now that I can see with pen. So that one. Sort of catch the bits you can, you know, just wait them around. How's that look? Have I got everything? This is the time then when you rub things out and you think, oops, missed that bit. Okay. Oh, thank you, John. Cup of tea time. Can you ask Sarah something for me, please, John?
Yes, sir.
See if Wendy Frederick's order has left us, and when, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. There we go. We should have an answer soon. Oh, look at that. All right, let's add just a few more little bits in. Nothing major. Oh, I'm gonna sort of come in here, bring a line up, and then I want some sort of kind of lines coming off it, almost like branches. Quite sort of spiky. And again, if you would rather do these in pencil, then that's fine. Do it in pencil first. You know, you don't have to go straight in. You see, sort of got a few little bits going on. So a little one there. And up there. See, I'm not going to put these everywhere, but you've got to have some sort of around the piece to make it look, it's got a bit of foliage going on, but they don't have to be the same size, so you can do them. In and along, and those little bits.
It's packed and it will be leaving today.
Oh, okie dokie. There we go, Wendy. It's packed and we're leaving today. So it's here waiting for the courier. So then it's however long it takes them. So hopefully that's answered your question. It saves you an email or giving us a call. All right. So I'm just going to put a couple little bubbles round. So now you see, look, when I rubbed out, you see this looks like it's sort of stood in mid-air, doesn't it? Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look. So let's address this, because of course I've started here with a point. So if I imagine that's where it's going to kind of end, it's probably done the trick, but I'm going to put another one so it looks like it's sort of folding underneath itself. So, okay. Right then, so let's have a look at this little gem here. So I've got a couple of colours sort of already. Being that I've got like a reddish tile, I've got, let's move out a little bit, I've got a range, see? Okay, and I have sharpened them ready So I'm going to bring my black in as well. And first things first, okay, let's go. I'm going to put my white bit in first. Now I say white bit because you've got different sections. It's also, oh, Kathy, updates on shipping. We do, yes. Give me a second. Let me have a sip, matey. We have now, there is a courier that sorted themselves out and they can actually tell us what the customs duty and the tariffs and everything are going to be up front. So what we could do is, we've had to stop shipping on the website because we've got some sort of AI bot causing us some issues. So drop me an email or Alice and send us a list of what you'd like. And what we'll do is put it into the courier's website and they'll come back and say, all right, this, and this, it's going to cost this much to do. So that kind of sorts us out so we can get all the stuff paid up front out of the way, and it just looks like we can do it that way. We've tried it with a couple now and it's worked. So anyway, I digress. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of white in different parts of each one. Okay, so they're not all in exactly the same place. Oh, Marie, for this one, I've got a couple of sharpeners, but this is the one I used. There we go. There you go. I mean, look at that. Ooh, okay, so I've got a bit of white in. So I'm going to build it up. I'm going to go in, bring a bit of orange in. And I'm going to very gently kind of work my way around that white. You see, it's sort of resisting it. But again, I'm not sort of trying to fill the whole thing. Just going to build it up in little layers. See, they're all slightly different. Yeah. Bit of light red. All right. So again, not trying to... I know, Kathy, it's a bit of a nightmare at the minute. I'm not going to lie. But we're doing our best and we're keeping track on things. So gets a pin. Must be annoying for you. But, all right, bit of Sanntangle red. So you see, I'm sort of adding little bits in. I've not really pressed on at anything at the minute. It's just adding a sort of a blotch of colour everywhere. Okay. So then I'm coming to a lighter one. I've got light orange, and I'm going to sort of add a little bit more pressure, and I'm going to work it around the white. So it sort of helps that a little bit more. So you see, it's all in different places. All right. Then I'm going to go back to my orange and sort of work a bit of that orange into the lighter one. So this is the clementine. There you go, look. All right. Okay. You see, so it's starting to build up a little bit more. So I'm going to go to the sort of the far end now. I'm going to come to claret, bring a little bit of darkness in. Again, like a little bit more pressure, you see. But each bit sort of I'm treating as a separate in its own right. So they're not all the same, see? And then let's come back to Sanntangle red. It's always about layers, you know, when you're doing something like this. See, I'm just taking a bit of it down there. And if you build it up, I mean, we'd be a lot quicker than this if you weren't watching the video. I'm trying to sort of bring you along with me. Let's bring that orange in so you can sort of see how it gradually builds up. And to starting to see now you're getting quite a solid colour here. See? Let's bring that in. So it's not using a massive amount of pressure. It's all about letting it all blend together. Okay, see, I've still got little gaps where the white is. Let's bring that back in then. And put that back in now. So I'm going to sort of work it into the piece. whatever it was. Is it a little bit? We can come in with a gel pen afterwards and do it a bit more, but for now let's get those in. Okay, so I've got a little bit of purple gem here. I'm going to bring a bit of that in, just to sort of make the darker dark. You can only put so much red on, see, and so bringing a different colour in helps that fact. Okay, I'm going to bring a bit of light red in just to help work that in. There we go. So I've got my black here, and I'm going to do with that, because I've got a nice sharp point on it, I'm going to hold it a little bit further kind of upright, and I'm going to put like little wobbly kind of crack in it. Now, I've not gone from the middle or anything. It's got to come from an edge. So you sort of twist it as you're going. Again, I'm not going to try and do too much. Let's do another one, look. If you twist it as you go, it kind of wants to go in a different way to, so it's not fully your control. Let's go back with a bit of red, so over the top of it. Okay. And back in with a touch of white where I can, just to finish it. Okay, I'll come in with a white gel pen in a minute when I've done that. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a gem going on, a bit more purple in there. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of something. Yeah, Wendy, I've got that one too. I've got a few of them. That's it. And I think the pastel one works brilliantly with the white chalk pencils. There we go. All right, regular pencil. Let's add a touch of that in there. Now, I could actually do this in colour as well. I think I will. Or you can decide that perhaps you like the flowers better and you want to do that. But let's put this in first and see how this looks. I'm just putting a little dab, you know, in those that I've done swirls. But the one I did the loops, I'm going all the way around the middle. All the way around the middle. See? And adding those in. And just a little dab in those bits. Let's put a little bit inside the moon, you know, both sides inside the moon. Only the bits you can see, of course. Get a little bit in there, let's see. Okay, let's just shade that out a bit. Oh, cup of tea bean that John made it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's good news with our place at the minute. We've actually been able to narrow down our leaks to literally 2 drips. And they seem a little bit, we can't quite get to them. But 2 drips from a full flood, I think that's pretty good going. John's been brilliant with it. He even ruined one of his favourite jumpers the other day with the stuff you have to put on. So it sticks and it's not very pleasant. But he's been working to get that done. We're on the last leg now. We're putting all the vinyl down on the floor. So we can start then to bring the machines back to where they need to be, because they're sort of still all over the place. So a little bit slow going this last couple of weeks, but it's took a lot of work, you know, to get the place sorted with the, you've got to make it dry first. Okay, coming in with a bit of light red. So I'll do a video shortly of once that's down, so you can sort of see how we're getting on. Okay, so again, just lightly, just in a couple around the edges. This is my light red. Oh, thank you, Viv. So John has worked brilliantly. You know, he's just, it's not been a nice clean job, put it that way. All right, Clementine. But, you know, from all those buckets, just kind of one now, really. There we go. So again, you see, I'm picking the pace up a little bit now because we've got the idea of how these work. We're just putting our little bits of pencil down. See, I'm going to come with my light orange here and just lightly go over there. And you can sort of see where that works. Let's bring a bit of white in. I'm going to put a white over the top of that. Light orange, a little bit heavier pressure. There we go. Oh, thank you, Marie. Do you know what, though? I think when you're in a situation, there's different ways of looking at it, isn't there? There's a Sanntangle red here. You can think, oh my goodness me, I'm never going to be able to do this. And so, you know, sometimes we have that, you know, and then the other people here are going, come on, we can do it. You know, we all stick together. And or you think, well, do you know what? It's happened. How do we solve the problem? How do we get to where we need to get to? So you've just got to try and be positive. I do try and practice what I preach. I really do. We all have our days. I know, Faith, thank you. It's not just me, I say, it's the team. We're a team, you know. And even Dobby, I know he's been a bit of a pain. He can't help himself. He's been so good. And then he just went mental last week and had a bit of a lapse. But never mind. Never mind. You know, we all have to work together. And I think that's it. That's the whole point, the Sanntangle family. And that includes all of you, is if there's any time a problem, or if you're feeling down, you know, I know you put that on and you post a picture. And we're all there and we all support each other. And that's how you get through things. You're not on your own. There you go, you know. All right, bringing that white in. What a difference that's made. And you see, it doesn't take long, does it? It's just a case of having your colours ready, bringing a few bits and pieces in. There we go. I think I'm going to bring a little bit of light red, just sort of in the middles there. You're not really going to see much, but it's going to add enough that it looks like we've paid attention. And then I'm going to bring a little bit of, decisions, grass green. Grass green, and just put a little bit sort of at the bottom of those scrolls. Let's go in again. Okay, so sort of at the bottom edge, flicking in a little bit. Now this would look nice as a little card, wouldn't it, if you wanted it to be? You could put a little sentiment in it. You could even put a cabochon or a real gem in the middle there, if you so thought. Oh, Debbie, I'm telling you, he's got everything. At the moment, it's the guttering that's inside. The roof's a different matter. But we're getting there. At least we're dry. Apart from that one bit, so we don't stand there. Oh, Maureen, absolutely, yeah. You know, you sort of think if somebody has solved a problem before, then why can't we? There we go. Just going to bring a bit of white in. And just sort of blend that green in a little bit. I'm not going to try and colour it all in. Just want to blend the green. Okay. And last little bit, I think, a bit of purple gem, you know, just on the edges. So let's go in a bit so you can see it. There we are. See, it's little bits in there. It just gives it a little bit of darkness when we need it. Okay. There, look. So because there's plenty of colour down, it really doesn't need to be blended in. It's just sort of sitting there. Surface. Oh, let's have this bit here, look. Going to come in with a little bit of light summer yellow. Just give it a little, let's have a little bit of colour there. Maybe a touch of that in with those. Being that I've got the colour in my hand, again. I'm not really colouring in, look, it's just about getting around the swirl. Yeah, there you go. Let's have a little look. Okay. Okay, white gel pen. Debbie, I don't know what is used, but it's stuck. I have no idea. Okay, so let's come in where we've got these little bits of lightness. Let's put a couple little dabbles in. I'm just enhancing the, let's go in again. So just enhancing where that light is. So I'm not trying to draw on it particularly, just want a little bit of a dab in there. Okay, see there, look. To those bits. And I think just being that I have and I've got it in my hand, I might as well. Almost like the little dots across the page. You just always have to try and, doesn't always want to work, does it? Let's get it going again. There we go. If it doesn't want to, it don't matter so much. There you go, look, just a little hint. Okay. Maureen, you could put a swing in the centre, absolutely, but I'm expecting now that you're going to have like a tiger eye design going on in there, or my little cracked kind of gem thing going on. So last thing to do, of course, is a signature, but you can use this and do all sorts of things, can't you? You can put anything in the middle instead. You could have a little fairy if you wanted to. You could have little, you know, from the to the moon and back. You could have a little dog or a cat there. And yeah, the colour, I mean, that little bit of lightness in the background there and really dark around the edge. I could even go back around the edge with a little bit of grey just to bring it in, or might layer it if you want to. So there you go. All done and sorted. So goodness me, what's on for the rest of the week? Okay, I'm on Sewing Street on Thursday and Helen's on Hobby Maker on Friday. But yeah, we'll still be doing the tile at 2, so it's whether it clashes, apologise, but yeah, it happens. So okay, have a good one, everybody. Enjoy, and you know, let's see what you can come up with your little gems and your little moons, and I'll catch you soon. All right, take care. Bye.